Xbox is adding keyboard and mouse support.
That's the thing.
Yay!
What do you guys think of that?
Let's ask the PC gamer.
Chris,
Yeah.
someone who plays with Actually,
About freaking time. That's my answer.
well, here's another question. Quick.
Oh, crap.
Are you a mouse and keyboard, or are you a controller hooked up to your PC type of guy?
I actually can do both.
Yeah, but which one do you prefer?
Yeah.
Mouse and keyboard are great for shooters, I would say. There are certain
And
games
strategy games.
Yeah.
there are certain games that I do like the controller for if I'm lazy.
So you're calling people that play with controllers lazy?
Oh man, you're gonna do that to him.
What? How dare you?
Help me, Carmine.
Hey, you should have sat next to him.
But, this raises some questions to the fact of fairness and how are they going to do this?
They're gonna do it the same way that they did it with Destiny.
It's a USB port. That's how.
No.
Plug it in.
No, he's talking about the aim, the aiming capabilities of keyboard and mouse compared to the controller.
So, for a quick little visual aid for those that are watching this is mouse speed. This is controller speed.
For those of you listening, he moved very quickly with the mouse and exaggerately moved slower with the controller.
Not that exaggerated.
It was perfectly...
John's
That's
gone
great.
bye-bye, Jonah. What do you got?
What?
John's
What
gonna
do you
buy
have left?
No, nothing. Nothing, I'm dead.
He's
So,
just scared beyond belief.
Jonah, what do you think of this?
I'm not going to play Xbox, so, just be unfair all you want. But even if I had an Xbox, I'm not going to use the keypad and mouse. Like, you saw what happened when we did it before on the PC for Lawbreakers. I'm not, it's just really weird to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure if you, just go at it every day, just try to learn the keyboard and mouse control scheme for Xbox.
Kind of like what you do with a controller.
No.
Controllers are also very odd for anybody to actually pick up and try and teach somebody new.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, your right stick moves where you're looking, but your left stick moves your body. And while you're doing that, you also have to know when to take off your thumbsticks and, oh my god, I can't even think of the word.
The human
right
brain is very good
at understanding muscle memory. I say
Sorry, reload
thank you.
is the word I'm looking for. Reload left me.
I say thank you, Microsoft, for proving my point earlier. I don't know what episode number it was, but I thought that Xboxes were like computers.
They are computers.
Well, here we
They're
are.
going to have run a version of Windows 10 on it.
So this is what I mean.
I mean, they're probably already actually running some version of Windows 10 under the hood.
Your Xbox One X that's coming out with keyboard and mouse support. I would bet that is probably the cheapest 4K computer that you will be able to buy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it's a great option for that route. But, based on the just the topic alone, how are they going to incorporate this? I've heard things of they're still in talks, and they're going to leave it up to the developers to kind of put it into play.
So it's not a universal thing?
Well, no, because when asked the question, that was the answer. Like, well, we're going to leave it mostly up to the developers to decide how they're going to do that. So basically, one of the ideas was have an option. Okay, what are you going to choose? You're going to have keyboard and mouse players only, or you're going to have controllers? So there's going to be like a category you jump in. So it's like
That's stupid.
So it's like
do you think that the devs for FPS games will go for that, or they'll just keep it all controllers?
It should be hard to do to give an option. Like, it's always better off if they give an option than not give an option.
Yeah. I mean, technically, if you look at most games, they have a sensitivity indicator or slider. So basically, they'll probably just turn it all the way up and be like, okay, there's your mouse and keyboard.
Nah, here's what I see happens. You're able to play PC games now on the Xbox, and they port over easily without having to be mapped jankerly on your key.
It just opens the door for more cross-play, but cross-platform.
Well, not even that, but I mean, platform, but you got third-party companies developing games just for PC because it's cheaper, but then you could plug them in and they can be played on an Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. I think that's great. It's a great opportunity.
Now, is that something you would shoot for? Be like, okay, I'm going to buy the the mouse and keyboard expansion, whatever it is that comes out, that they'll probably charge $80 for.
Well, I don't think it's going to be an expansion. It's going to be your mouse and your keyboard that you have now will plug into the Xbox One.
Yeah,
so they're not going to
you think so?
Yeah, I assume it's like any keyboard you have in your house. I think
it
most
would make
people have
sense.
one.
I mean, people spend a lot of money on their keyboards, but then again, those people that already have that already have a PC setup. So why would they want to jump over?
Well, they might just go and buy a mouse and keyboard. I mean,
for $20, you can get a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, and if you want to go high end, you could probably go and get like a mechanical keyboard and stuff like that to get it. I'm just saying you could. Mechanical. That's what it's called.
Yep. I was thinking a mouse with the ball.
No, mechanical keyboard.
They don't make
it's like
it's like a mechanical pencil.
Yeah,
but like a keyboard with lead.
I'm sorry.
That works for me.
But the thing is too is I think what they'll end up doing is for a lot of these developers, they're going to do what Bungie did, and it's kind of got some people kind of upset with it from the PC beta for Destiny 2. But for when you use a controller, your controller has the aim assist as part of using the controller. Because every video game, every shooter that you're using a controller for has some version of aim assist.
Mm-hmm.
Like you snapshot it in, it will kind of draw to a center location on the enemy that you're looking at,
right,
and help you out with the aim.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a way to compensate for a mouse and keyboard that is super precise and accurate.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing that with Destiny 2 now. So if you use a controller, you get the aim assist. If you're not using the controller, you have the precision of the mouse and keyboard. Now, they could, and again, it comes down to the developer. They could just be like, hey, controller people play with controller people, keyboard and mouse people play with keyboard and mouse people, and that could just be it.
Yeah,
it's going to come down to what they want to do for their game.
So basically, what you're saying is they could program it.
I mean, it may not be. It could be honestly just be a switch.
It might be a lot of work on the back end.
Trademark.
No, I mean, like, how are you going to differentiate?
It's going to be something that you're going to pick.
Yeah,
like it's a setting that you would choose.
So it's only going to group you up with.
It's literally going to be a checkbox that wants to be playing.
So it's like a server option.
I guess so.
Like a PC, it might even insert your Xbox if you have that hooked up. Like the mouse and keyboard is hooked up. So
I don't know.
You'd be able to tell.
Yeah,
it would tell.
Or like you were talking about, the developers would be able to, like for instance, the aim assist, where they will have the joysticks pretty much identical to the using a mouse, like just moving over, and that aim assist will help get you there
faster,
as quick as a mouse. So
and there's some people that swear that play on PC that they'd still do fine with a controller even without an aim assist playing a PC game.
Well, that's where I'm at.
There's some people are good that way, some people aren't. Again, I think it's just something that's going to be more of a choice.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this whole story just comes down to it being just another choice. Which is exactly what Microsoft needs to do. They have to keep coming out and making it so that you have choices. You can choose the Xbox One S with no 4K. You can get the Xbox One X with the 4K and the increased power. You can play with mouse and keyboard. You can not play with mouse and keyboard. The one thing that was really interesting, too, when we looked at what their show on Gamescom, there's a few different strategy games that Jurassic Park they premiered.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're doing some sort of partnership or something with the Age of Mythology remake. So they've been Halo Wars 2. They've been kind of promoting and pushing some of these strategy games, and it only makes sense that if you're going to keep doing those types of games, that you're going to have to do the mouse and keyboard thing eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it makes sense for what they're trying to do.
Well, they're so much easier with the mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, anything that had a point and click and then it was transferred to using a controller was terrible.
Yeah, and the thing is again, Microsoft doesn't make money off their hardware. They make money off of everything else that they do.
Mm-hmm.
So them becoming closer to a PC, it's still running their operating system. It's like one of those things where like I really do think that the end game is to just be a centralized box that plays video games but also does everything that an app store does.
It's their entertainment center.
Yeah.
They want to basically phase out everything else, and you just get your Xbox and you're just running Microsoft to run your life.
And I just think it's just something where I really do believe what they're saying, where I don't think they see it as a console generation anymore. It's just going to be iterative boxes that are going to come out, adding more features, and are going to have full backwards and forwards compatibility in some shape or form. And again, this is just another win. It's giving them the gamers another option, saying that, hey, we can do mouse and keyboard. The bigger question is that do you guys think that Sony's going to follow suit?
I mean, for them, really, it wouldn't be. I don't know how advantageous it'd be for them to do that.
I know, because they're at the core of their business, they're still a video game console.
Yeah.
Like, we're all very much expecting that there's going to be a PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, so this is where things are going to get really interesting, and these two companies are kind of going to go on completely different paths.
Yeah. I mean, then again, we're talking third party, so maybe, you know, if developers...
There might be adapters for the PS4, but like third party. I don't think that
I remember
Sony
seeing
would ever do it like...
I remember seeing some accessories where it was like a half keyboard and a mouse or something like that that they were prototyping at one point. I don't know if they ever made it a market or not for PS or for PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
But I mean, but the way that Sony's been with, like, you know, not really wanting to do the whole cross-platform amongst Xbox and Nintendo, some PC games they'll do cross-platform or cross-play with, but not all of them.
Yeah.
They seem to be isolating themselves, and I don't know if they necessarily feel like they need to go and do the massive keyboard thing, because again, it's something where they're a gaming console. They've always had the gamepad. Do they need to even give the option of, hey, use the keyboard or mouse?
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably be based off of its success on the Xbox, but then again, like I said, if third-party developers are making games with that support for the Xbox versions, they might just be built into the PlayStation somehow.
Yeah, and
already.
they just have to allow for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that if that feature is what draws a lot of people to the Xbox, the keyboard and mouse, then Sony will decide to copy it.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, they'll just throw in backwards compatibility. They'll throw everything at them.
That's the big question, though, too, is like when you're looking at like what PlayStation 5 could be, are they going to will they allow for backwards compatibility, and will they allow for forward compatibility? Like, I guess we can assume that PlayStation 4 won't be able to play PlayStation 5 games. But hopefully PlayStation 5 will be able to play the PlayStation 4 games.
I mean,
hopefully.
I mean, in all generations, I wish that were true. Every single thing will be cross or compatible. But, however, each hardware version is different. For instance, you can't play, or a PS2 runs different than PS3, and the way the PS3 is built, it can't run the PS2
because
at
the way
all.
the cell processor was.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the problem with the hardware. They would have to pretty much come up with emulation where you can put the disc in, it would read it, and then rip a ROM off it somehow and then do it that way. Like most of these, like Hyperlink and Retron 5 do for retro games. That's pretty much what it would have to do. But they would have to allow it, though. The problem is they would have to find a way to combat piracy, which is why they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But no, for them to add keyboard and mouse, at this point, I don't see Sony. I mean, because you look at who plays like PlayStation, like you said, it's been. I've had PlayStation since PlayStation 1.
It's always been a controller.
It's always been a controller.
Yeah. And all their first party developers always designed for the controller in mind first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they don't have to worry about PC or any other platform.
Yeah. Now this is talking about just using it in the game instead of, because I mean they've come out with that so you can like browse the internet and stuff like that. Yeah,
because the PS3 operating system was more of a Linux based operating system.
You can actually run Windows on it.
Yeah, if you wanted to.
Yeah. But right now I don't see them utilizing. But then, like I said, if third party developers are working with Microsoft and Xbox and putting it on their games for those versions, maybe they'll have it on the PlayStation versions just because. And I mean, I think it's a great idea. Hopefully, people, but then again, it goes back to, okay, usually people who have the consoles want the controllers, or else they would have saved up for the PC already and built their PC.
But again, like Chris said, this is going to be the cheapest form, 4K. PC or 4K gaming rig, I guess you could say, or gaming unit at a $500 price point that you can now play on the same servers potentially eventually as the PC gamers do. And again, it all comes back down to, if you do the crossplay, you open it up to PC and Xbox, it just allows for games to have that online community continuously, so you can continually play multiplayer, and there's a community there to play with.
No, I mean, that'd be great. The only question with that now is to ask Chris, because you have a PC, would you ever buy an Xbox One X?
To be honest with you, if with this capability, probably.
Oh, really?
Well,
even if your PC specs are great.
Well, my PC specs are great, but I have it. My PC is a separate thing from my, let's say, entertainment center.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have my computer plugged into my entertainment center. My PlayStation 4 is plugged into my entertainment center right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if Xbox One X looks like a fantastic machine to play 4K movies and games, and I have access to my other services like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and stuff like that, I don't see why I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, $500.
Especially when it comes time to upgrade, you figure too, right? If you're gonna have to decide whether or not you're gonna upgrade something or just buy something like that at a $500 price point.
Mm-hmm.
It really depends on what like Sony comes out with a PlayStation 5. Like for me to kind of tip it, because right now there's nothing out there that justifies me purchasing an Xbox One X. But as soon as like Halo 6 comes out, or as soon as a game that I really want and I can't play anywhere else comes out, I will probably pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
The trouble is, if I have a PC and they're making Xbox One X games playable on a PC, or they're releasing titles on the PC as well, they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot with me, because I won't buy an Xbox One X at that point.
Because you're already taken care of with your hardware.
Right.
That's the only thing. I mean, the other thing too is that PC has such a large range and library on Steam of like different games that you can play, early access games, and you're seeing Xbox wanting to slowly get into the early access part of this marketplace, but they're nowhere near it yet.
Yeah.
And most games are still, it's the way that a lot, even like some of the indie games go, they're going based on the actual install base. So a lot of times you'll have a game released on PC, Steam, move out to PlayStation 4, and then eventually afterwards, sometime after that, you'll get to Xbox One. And that's what's going to happen probably with like Lawbreakers. So with that being said, it's like, it's awesome that they're doing it, but then I guess it comes down to, are they going to be slowly start to be able to pull some of those developers away or with Steam to get some of those early access titles and make it more of a PC type marketplace where you can try a bunch of games out.
What was it that came out? Arc came out? And on PC, we've been playing that for a long time.
Yeah.
We've been playing that for a long time.
Xbox did have it early access, and it did eventually go to PlayStation 4 as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But yeah, we've had it for forever.
Yeah. And even like 7 Days to Die, that eventually made it to Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's just, again, it's awesome, but it's something where the marketplaces are different.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it might be closer to a PC, the Xbox One X, whatever the next Xbox is going to be, but it's a matter of that marketplace is not going to be as fruitful as what Steam has.
The problem,
so it still potentially could draw people more towards PC.
There is a dangerous element that I could think of here, is if they don't differentiate themselves far enough from a PC, they may end up putting themselves in a hole, because just like the arguments that I just said, like making it advantageous for me to buy a $500 console when I already have like a $1,200 PC that I built myself over time, I don't want to really spend another $500 on something if I'm just kind of like getting a whitewashed version of what I already own. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if I'm going to hook something up to my television, it's got to have those apps and stuff like that too. I could probably hook up my computer to my TV and get everything I need if I really wanted to. So the consumer has a choice, but the choices are so similar. It's almost as if I were just an Xbox guy and I didn't have a PC, I would totally buy an Xbox One X with the mouse and keyboard and have my that would be my supercomputer. That would be my everything console. But if I'm a PC gamer already, it's really hard for me to switch over or to convert or even share that space unless there's a game or something that the Xbox offers that I can't get on my PC. That's all.
So basically, to go back to the question I asked you earlier, which you were talking about, you would get an Xbox just because everything's right there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of do you think the Xbox adding the keyboard and mouse, is that going to be, you think that's not going to, will that convert anybody over?
Not from PC. Like, I don't think so.
It's a hard sell, right?
It is a really hard sell. I think
if you have the hardware already to do the 4K and everything. If not, it's a no-brainer.
If you're getting a 4K TV this holiday and you want a 4K player at a reasonable price, and then you're an Xbox fan as well,
sure,
it's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
Sure. But if you're just an Xbox guy right now, you've never played with a mouse and keyboard, like to play games, the learning curve is kind of steep for
it takes time.
that people have learned with a controller.
And that's a good question about patience. Do you think this is something like, okay, I bought, some younger gamer this just because he heard it was better than controller, but then in matchmaking he's getting destroyed. And then
if he doesn't understand why it's that way.
Yeah, or she's getting destroyed and she's getting angry and all that stuff, and then that's it. Like, they put it away and then put their controllers out.
Well, make no mistake, if you have a kid that knows how to type, I think they could pick it up a lot faster than like an adult who's been typing but playing video games with a controller since the early 90s, and they've never played video games with a mouse and keyboard before. I have a feeling that those are the people that are going to have a hard time converting.
We'll see. We'll have to see. Jonah, any final thoughts? I mean, kind of.
Yeah, this is not my area of expertise. Like PC and Xbox, I'm just like, that's the thing that's happening currently. So,
that is a bunch of plastic.
That's in the forecast, that's for sure.
I think it's safe to say the first time that we're going to see this, though, is when PUBG goes on early access on Xbox.
Yeah.
That's the one I feel like, because like I've talked about it before, like the trying to go in and out of menus on PUBG can cost you precious time where you're not looking where you need to be and you could just die.
Right.
So I feel like them adding the keyboard and mouse and starting to talk about this now is pretty much setting them up to say, like, when PUBG comes out on early access on Xbox One, not only are you going to have mouse and keyboard, but you're going to be able to play with the same PC crowd that are currently on Steam.
Mm-hmm. And I'm anxious to see how this... I hope that that's the way they route. Instead of going, okay, either play with the mouse and keyboard folks or play with the controller folks, I like to see them make it work where everyone's playing together. So that way, we're playing this game on Xbox, and we can play with Chris on his PC, so we're all playing together. Bringing gamers together, living in harmony.
Except for me.
Except for Jonah.
Cats and dogs living together. Master stereo.
So, anyway, guys, Chris, you have any final thoughts, real quick? I know you said pretty much everything.
No, I said enough. Man.
More choice, the better.
That's right, guys. What do you think? Do you agree with us, or do you think we're full of fools?
Well, they probably think we're full of fools.
You won't
fill it in the comments below.
How would you be full of fools?
Oh, you know.
It's like full of fools.
I feel like there's some tomfoolery going on here.
I want no shenanigans.
You were talking about voodoo earlier?
Voodoo.
Walmart.
Believe in the magic.
Voodoo.
Walmart.
Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about this whole mouse and keyboard thing coming to Xbox in the comments down below.